What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Twisted Ignition. My name is Mike, and we're here for another fun-filled day of solo shenanigans and part 2 of my Duramax frame project. So stay tuned and I'll show you what we're going to be working on. Our main goals for today is to remove this leaf spring and that leaf spring over there. Carefully remove all of the plastic line and brake line and cable fittings and hold downs and loom holders. Basically all the plastic clips in the frame need to be removed. And finally, we're going to be using some power tools and some pneumatic tools. We're going to be using a pneumatic scraper to get any of the maybe hopefully loose and thick patches of factory undercoat that GM used for these frames. A needle scaler, which you've seen us used in the past on this channel, especially on Ricky's Plow Hog project. This is going to knock off all the loose scale that may be on the frame and make it look a little prettier. And of course, what I like to call old reliable. A massive wire wheel on a die grinder really helps smooth out the edges, makes everything look nice, and gets it prepped for paint. So, without further ado, let's get started. So we're going to start with taking these leaf springs off first. You got to take the lower one out. Hopefully the jack stand isn't in the way. We're going to find that out shortly. But the outside nut is a 21 millimeter. We're going to use the big guns right away because these bolts and nuts are notorious for being very tight. And a 21 millimeter wrench on the opposite side. Hopefully this will come out easily. One came out rather easily, and hopefully the bolt will come out of the bushing that's in there. These bolts are notorious for getting stuck in the bushing because the bushings are rubber and they dry rot and swell and then nothing wants to spin. But we're going to get this front bolt loosened up. This is a 24 millimeter on both sides. I am not a Milwaukee sponsor, none of us are, but these are the greatest thing ever made. They are just torque monsters. I absolutely love working with them. So anybody that has a garage that doesn't want to wait for an air compressor to fill up, these are the way to go. Like I suspected, it's not moving. Didn't even really have to touch that one. That's a good one. Let's just hold this up so the spring doesn't come crashing down. This bolt is actually in very good shape, and I will be more than likely reusing it. We got this bolt out. Now it's just a matter of giving the front bolt a couple more whacks. We're not moving. If we moved, it was a very, very small amount. Oh, that hurts the balls. Oh, that was painful. Well, I've tried a lot, not looking too good. I think I'm gonna have to ultimately try to cut it. Let's try to get the other spring off, see if we have any better luck with that side. Will this side be as easy as the other side? Probably shouldn't have asked, but we're gonna find out. Very good. And success. All right. Will it come out now? Yes, it will. Got it. Yikes. This bolt has seen better days. There we go. Oh, that's a heavy spring. Little work and I got it to spin. Now I have cut these bolts off in the past with a Sawzall in between. Not a good time because the bushing gums up the blade and it just takes forever. I was luckily able to get that to spin, and now it looks like it's moving, so let's give it some persuasion. All right. 2 little leaf springs. Perfect. Oh my God, these things are a lot heavier than I thought. Put them over in the junk pile and not kill myself. Okay. Now for something a little easier, I hope. Now we're going to spend some time and pull all these plastic clips off. Cue the time lapse. believe we got them all pulled out. These are actually kind of nice. These little pins pop up and then they just pull out. It's kind of like a fender clip. Some of them broke. I mean, you're gonna have that because they're old and they're brittle, and a lot of these guys either came right out or they snapped off. I believe you can buy replacements of these, so I'm not too terribly worried. And what better way to house all your brackets and clips than in a Quaker Oats oatmeal container with a lid. I think we're going to start with our pneumatic scraper. See if we can get some of this. Let's see how it does. That's pretty good. Got the heavy stuff off. Only downfall with that is we're going to be here a while. It's not perfect, but it gets all the heavy stuff off. So I'm going to start needle scaling this section. Once again, cue the time lapse. So far so good. There's no holes, there's no cracks. And once this is all scraped and needle scaled, then we'll break out the wire wheel and go from there. We got a lot of scraping done here. It's supposed to be a bolt there and it was rounded out, so I tried drilling it out, and then I was able to spin it a little bit from behind, and there's a little bit of a nub there. And of course, there's not enough for a vice grips to grab, so we're gonna try the old weld the nut onto the end of the stud. We got it. That right there is a win, but we managed to get this sumbitch out. We're gonna start this old girl, move it out of the garage, so when I use Old Reliable, it doesn't get pelted with pieces of metal and chip any more damage. Never mind, batteries are dead. $466.38 later, we got 2 brand new batteries. So hopefully she starts now. That's a little nicer. All right, let's get to it. Not too bad so far. Clean it up pretty nice. Where's Old Reliable? What, really, man? What, are you overheated? You're grabbing a cold one. Come on, we got work to do. Get back out here. Jeez. Making pretty good progress, but for some of those hard to reach places, mini reliable. Pretty much done under there, just a couple little spots in the corners with a small air die grinder with a wire wheel on it. Otherwise, we're not looking too shabby. I will say this, on this frame, there's a lot of like factory weld spatter. They're actually sharp. I'm gonna try to find all the ones protruding like that and take them off with a flat disc. There we are. Now it's all nice and smooth and there's nothing to cut me on when I'm reaching up to try to get out of there or something. So I've just spent, I'd say the last week, and about 11 cans of this, spraying and wiping and cleaning this frame. It was bad, it was filthy. Per the instructions on the Chassis Saver paint that I'm going to be using, if you're using smooth bare metal, they say you need to roughen it up with 60 grit sandpaper. That's what I've been doing on the frame, on all the shiny spots. I'm pretty much ready to paint. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna paint our frame with. We have Chassis Saver undercoat paint. And this stuff here was suggested by one of the comments on my first frame video, so we're gonna give it a try. I've never actually used this one before. We're gonna find out how this one works. It's a gloss black. I believe frames should be gloss black because that's what, you know, they were intended to be. Now, before I do use this, we are going to spray it down with either Simple Green or Purple Power. I haven't really decided yet, and we'll power wash it where it sits. That paint says on the instructions you can either paint on rust or bare metal, and there's no primer required. I've never seen anything like that, but we're gonna find out if that actually works. It smells wonderful in here. It smells like Simple Green. We're gonna dry this off with a towel so there's no water pooling anywhere in there. I went through this thing twice with Simple Green. Got one of these little bristle brushes. They work pretty good. Here's the side I did not do with brake clean yet, and there's the side I did. This was all sprayed and wiped continuously with brake clean, and there's a significant difference. It gets all the oil and all the junk out of the frame. Now we're ready for paint. It actually says on the can, on the instructions here to be extremely careful we don't get paint in the rim here when we put the lid back on, because the paint will fuse with the metal and basically weld the lid shut. I'm gonna pull the lid off carefully, and I'm gonna put a little painter's tape around the rim. When I use the can, it doesn't fall in there. We got the rim taped up, got our little paint stirrer here. We're gonna see if this thing works. Try this here. After about 3 hours of painting, getting covered in paint, I will say this, I'm very happy with the way that chassis saver lays on the metal. We're gonna let this sit for 24 hours, and I will come back and we'll go over the frame one more time. Oh, and by the way, tape didn't work. I guarantee that paint can will never come off again. The next day, it's not tacky. Actually, last night, about an hour after I painted it, it wasn't even tacky then. But it's really glossy, it's really shiny. I really like it. I think I'm gonna go over it with a fine-tooth comb one more time if I can get that paint can lid off. Otherwise, I think it's nice. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Anybody that's still with me watching this to this point of the video, I appreciate it. I really like that chassis saver stuff. Don't get it on your hands. I have it all over me. I actually have it right in here. And if it's anything like POR 15, the only thing that will remove it is time. Let me know what you think I should do with this frame. I would love it if you guys would subscribe, share this video, comment, like, whatever it takes. We really appreciate it. We got Sierras, Silverados, S10s, C10s, Durangos, Amigos, how-tos, and don't-dos. So until next time, later guys.